Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. I'm pushing out a few videos on this same topic, so you might see me a couple times. I am reading from different articles regarding the COLA, the cost of living adjustment. This just came out. The CPI data, CPIW data came out this morning, and subsequently, that was the last piece that was needed to calculate COLA. Social Security cost of living adjustment, which also defaults to VA, has been announced, and it will be a 3.2% increase in 2024. So please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff helps to push this information out. If you're not a member, consider joining. I do appreciate it, and it helps the channel, and it helps me to find you in the comments. I am going to read through this article a little bit for you, bring you up to speed, and I'm also going to add in a couple other things. How is it going to affect your benefits? When your benefits, you'll realize this actual increase. When will you see it? And stuff like that. So, again, the headline here, Social Security cost of living adjustment will be 3.2% in 2024, well below this year's record-setting increase. So that was that 8.7 that we had. So before I jump in further on that, remember that a lot of this stuff that you're going to hear on Social Security COLA, is going to be geared towards Social Security because that's the primary thing. By default, Veterans Affairs adopt that every year. That's got to get approved through Congress, and it has been. So what else will it affect? It's going to affect things in your VA benefits, such as your disability compensation, your clothing allowance, if you're a dependent spouse or child receiving dependency indemnity compensation, DIC, that type of stuff. When's it going to go into effect, right? That part's important. So January 24, 2024, those increased benefits will take effect, right? For Social Security, for your VA, all that stuff. However, if the benefit that's affected by COLA is typically received on the first of the month, like VA disability compensation, then you are likely to see that reflected in your December month. So December 29th, because the first is a holiday, and Friday is the 29th of December, and the first is, I believe it's Monday. It's going to roll you back to December 29th. So just so you're aware of that. So jumping back to the article here, the Social Security beneficiaries will see a 3.2% boost to their benefits in 2024. The Social Security Administration announced this on Thursday. This was just 20 minutes ago. The annual cost of living adjustment for 2024 will affect more than 71 million Social Security and Supplemental Security income beneficiaries. And insert into this article, Veterans Affairs beneficiaries, right? These benefits adjustments are made annually to help benefits keep pace is what they should say. They wrote place. I promise you, there's an L there. I know my reading's not great, but benefits keep pace with inflation. The change will result in an estimated Social Security retirement benefit increase of $50 per month. On average, the average monthly retirement benefit for workers will be $1,907, up from $1,848 this year, according to the Social Security Administration. Now, let's contrast that over to VA. I just did some real rough math, some monkey math here for you. So if you're 100 now, look, there's 70,000 different ways that you could figure out what your benefits are going to be, and figure out different dollar amounts. But I just picked two. So 100% rating, 50% rating, both with two dependents, one spouse, one child, just for giggles, right? To have at least something to work with. So a 50% rating for 2023 is $1,215.82. If we add 3.2% to that for the 2024 figure, we'd be looking at $1,254.73. Now let's go up to the 100% rating with, again, two dependents, one spouse, one child. You're looking at a current 2023 rating at compensation payment at $3,971.78. With the 3.2% added to that, takes it to $4,098.88. So just important to understand what kind of effects you're going to see. Now, I will tell you that if you are not a 100% rated veteran, obviously the bigger increases come from increasing your actual rating. So if you're a 30%, 40%, 20%, 50%, whatever, getting to that next tier is really going to be beneficial for you financially. So always look for ways to either A, my condition's gotten worse, I need to file for an increase. My condition has now caused other conditions, that would be secondary conditions, or maybe, you know what, hey, I never really thought about filing for that I had back then, didn't even think it was something I could file for. Let me file for that as a service-connected condition that I just forgot about. I will tell you, time is not a hindrance. For example, myself, I did not file for GERD until 20-ish years after I got out of the Marine Corps. So I got out of the Marine Corps in 97, and it was probably, is around that time, maybe 2018, 2019, so over 20 years since I had, until I filed for GERD. So, and I linked it all the way back to my time in the Marine Corps. Luckily for me, I checked a box in my out processing paperwork that said frequent heartburn, right? So it was one of those, self-identifying kind of papers, have you now or have you ever experienced any of these following conditions? And they had probably 50 different things, right? Back pain, headaches, tuberculosis, whatever, cancers, heart attacks, whatever. And heartburn was one of them, and I checked that box. So that was my nexus, right? Tracked it all the way back. So moving on in the article here, sorry for the sidetrack, just a public service announcement there. So the 3.2% increase is in line with an estimate released last month by the Senior Citizens League, a nonpartisan senior group. The Social Security cost of living adjustment is calculated based on the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, or the CPIW. The 2024 adjustment comes as many retirees are still struggling with higher prices. Now, I'm going to also add in here, because they mentioned the Senior Citizens League. The Senior Citizens League, as well as myself, at least I believe so. I mean, I could be swayed. I'm not married to any idea. There's always more information, right? There are two pieces of legislation out there that are calling for higher COLA. And there's one on the Senate side and one on the House side. And they're calling to utilize what's called the CPI-E. That's the elderly index, and it measures things a little bit differently. The cost and the items that are utilized more in line with an age group, right? So it can give a true reflection of what Social Security recipients are probably facing. So either medical issues or is typically the big one, right? So Social Security recipients, either due to age or due to just the fact that they're receiving some sort of a Social Security, indicate medical issues, and those tend to have higher costs and more pain as we move forward. So the Senior Citizen League is also in favor of utilizing a CPI-E variant as opposed to the CPI-W. So I did a video on that not too long ago. You can go back, check it out. I believe on the thumbnail it does state two bills pushing for higher COLA. So with that, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.